Good evening, boys and girls, ladies and gents. Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another social production, July the 13th, 2022. Kicking butt, taking names. Man, hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's safe and sound wherever the F you are. Beautiful bastards out there, you gorgeous mamas and papas getting it on. For Team Humanity, baby. This one's for you guys. Sip, sip. It's Wednesday again. Halfway through the week, together doing it. There have been reports, murmurs, rumors, viewers of the show, listeners of the show, anybody who's into this show. The statistics have come in, the studies have been concluded. We've conducted blind studies. We've gained some insight. Viewers and listeners to the show, they've gone out there and doubled their rate of pregnancy. Now they're out there twice as much pregnant in comparison to the average viewer and listener who just checks out the regular TV. But if you want to double your pregnancy rates, you want to be getting double prego, you come sit down with your boy. Whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter. It works both ways. We up your sperm count, automatically slide it into the account. 25% off all day, every day for our listeners and viewers. The ladies, tired of releasing one egg at a time? Again, reports have been coming in. Are they a little biased? Maybe. Did somebody do a check to peer review the study? No, not really, because the studies stand firm and tall and strong. And they indicate that ladies who've been watching, who've been with us, ovulating, releasing multiple eggs at a time. How do we do it? A little bit of magic, a little bit of thinking outside the box. We hold a couple of eggs back. That's what we did. 1 month we didn't release any. Next month, 2 eggs at a time. You're like, isn't that the same? Is it? Is it though? I don't know. Other times we've been, increasing life expectancies. People are now living to 195 just by tuning in and talking to us. So if you don't want to double your pregnancy rates, if you don't want to extend your life to 195, I feel you. But I mean, hey, it's time to get with the program. It's time to stop screwing around. It's time to let's get serious around here. Do you want to live past 100 or not? What are we doing here, fam? Because I'm here providing service. You want it, I want it, they need it, they want it, they'll get it. And it's just thanks to you and I coming in together and just picking each other's brains and trying to have a little bit of fun, if we can, if we may. And what do we do around here? Again, if you're a fan, if you've been watching, if you're a viewer, if you're more, because this is not just between me or a fan, because anybody can get fans, dude. You want to get some AC, you want to get some air conditioning, plenty of that to go around. But I'm talking about real hardcore listeners and viewers who are also, because of the modern day tech that's available to them, are now part of the team, part of the crew. Kind of like producers, if you will, out there. If you laugh at something, I know something's working. If you're not laughing at something, I know it's not working. I listen, I view the videos, make sure I do a better job each and every day. And thanks to you guys, we're improving, we're getting better, we're getting faster. We're now capable, we've been working hard, we're hardly working, and things are on the up and up. I feel it, it's summertime. Summer's that time for new beginnings. I'm excited. We're moving slow, I'm not gonna lie to you, fam, we're moving very slow still. But guess what? Slow and steady stays in the race. Might not necessarily win the race. You're like, no, I'm pretty sure slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady will compete in the race. Slow and steady will definitely complete the race. Most often, we'll come close. We'll win because we're that slow and steady turtle, baby. We go in our shell, like little Shelly. That's what I'm talking about, dude. Mind, body, spirit, penis in the shell. And the ladies who can't relate to that, yours is already in the shell. It's reverse. You've got an inward penis essentially. No, not the same. Way different. Completely different. I get it. It makes sense. 2 different settings, 2 different wirings. Fine. But we're all one, is what I'm trying to say. And sometimes we need that protection. Why an exterior shell? Sometimes we need to break that shell and come out of that shell and just bust our heads out and be like, well, what's up? What's going on? That's what we do around here, baby. The stars are out. The stars are out, ladies and gentlemen. It's summertime. It's that time when the sun doesn't want to go out. Someone wants to hang out with you, baby. Someone wants to just linger on till 8:39 in the PMs. What are we doing out here? Still sunny out. Why? It's summertime, that's why, baby. But it's beautiful. You look outside, that's what I've been doing. I go on my balcony sometimes. I'll have a little drag and I'll be looking out into the distant, man. And I'll see the stars that are coming out one by one, little by little, sometimes two at a time. And they be forming constellations, more stars. And I don't know my stars on constellation. I think right above me is, if I'm not mistaken, the old Little Dipper, dude. That Little Dipper. You feel me, fam? A little dippy dip. I'm only guessing, of course. I don't know again, stars, constellations, not too informed about them. Am I a fan? Hells yeah. It just makes me appreciative of life, how great it is, how magical and magnificent it is. Each and every day we're living miracles. You're a fucking living miracle. I get passionate about it because, oh man, you just, for a second, I know you can't see too many of the stars when you're in the city. Maybe out there in the rural areas you get a better glimpse, and it just reminds you and connects you to nature and how vast everything is, how fragile everything is. But despite the fact that it's fragile, it's being maintained, it's being upheld. Things like gravity are at work. Is it holding us up, or is it holding us down? Is it holding us back? Is it holding us from the front? I don't really know how it works. You know, if you say it's holding us up, I'd assume there's something right beneath us holding us up. But it could also be, we could also be dangling up, so it could be holding us down, you know? Just little large fellow that you and I can't see, or a lady, or a thing with a string, and we're just like, you know, every once in a while, I just like blow on that string, like that, and the earth is spinning. Who knows? Probably not that scenario, but it could be. You never know. Did you go out there and check? I didn't check. If you check, then you know. You let your boy know, dude. You let your boy know. Love you, gang. Hope everybody's just living their best lives, whatever you're doing. We're going to be taking it slow. That's what it is, baby. Let's not forget what we do. It's good that we're moving slow. I like to move slow. You try to get me to move fast, you don't actually have to put up that big of a fight, because if we're walking, then I'll be walking fast, because I can't stand slow walkers. So I'll see a slow walker and I'll just, I want to pick them up and put them on my shoulder and just walk with them a little bit faster and show them what can be done if they were to just take longer strides. But to each their own, man. You be that slow walker, you know? But that's the thing, everybody slows down at one point. You know, you reach the ripe old age of 125, you're gonna be slowing down. So if you're still early in the game, if you're still that young blood and you're walking slow, oh God, there's nothing worse. There's absolutely not. I cannot think of anything. No, nothing worse. Not a single thing that is worse than a slow walker. Because a slow walker is just basically is that even a person? And we've been hearing more rumors and murmurs of what is a person, especially with developments coming in from big tech, giant tech coming in, dangling big tech in our face, saying things like AI may or may not be sentient, and you're like, oh, she is, you know? So slow walkers, are they human? Are they? Yes, they are. But man, is it irritating to get stuck behind a few of them and the sidewalk is narrow and you can't get past them, and you gotta step like extra slow for about 30 seconds to a minute. When you find an opening, you could just like zip in there. All of a sudden it's like Tokyo Drift, but with your body drifting on the slow walkers, baby. Oh, I had to get that off my chest. So if you're a slow walker, dude, if you're a slow walker, you're like, how do I speed up? Longer strides. You're like, my legs are short. It's called platform shoes, dog. Get it? It was done at one point in history, 60s, 70s. You get yourself some height. And you're like, maybe that's not the way to do it. Get some extra legs, damn it. Get some extra legs. Family member is, you know, I'm not down with, you know, every once in a while you'll get that little letter in the mail. Do you want to donate your body? No. no, I will not donate my, but why? Because I'm keeping it for the fam, dude. If I'm getting, if somebody's getting whatevs happens, attach a couple of extra legs to your lower torso. That way you'll be moving faster. 4 legs, 2 of them are yours, 2 other ones are, from grandpa. I know, ideally you'd like to get your hands, or your legs rather, on a fresh pair of feetsies, but it's hard to come by. It's so hard to come by. So, but that doesn't mean you should stop thinking, and that doesn't mean you should stop moving forward. That's what we do around here, but we don't stop. We just keep going. One day at a time, one bite at a time, one lick at a time, one flip of the page at a time, one blink at a time, inch by inch. Feet at a time, feet by feet, foot by foot, feet by feet, yard by yard. Crossing barriers, going to places where people never thought it'd be possible to go there before. Now, before the show gets going, I must admit I forgot to turn on the AC, and we wouldn't want to have that mishap again where the old GoPro turns too hot because the show gets too hot. Bear with me a few seconds while I go to the other side of the compound real quick, turn on the AC on. Be right back with you. Turning on the AC. He's turning on the AC for the show. He's thinking about us. He's got our best interest at heart with the AC. Yeah. See? The AC is on. You didn't even see me go. It happens so quick. Happens so fast. I just flashed you. You're like, oh, was I watching Flash? Did I just get flashed? I don't think so. But that's the thing here. I don't leave it. This is what it is, baby. This is the real raw, independent production, as independent as it gets. We got an issue with the AC, for example. It's not been turned on prior to the show starting. Guess who takes care of it? Your boy, your captain, going in there. We don't have no, not yet anyway. Not yet anyway. Down the line, oh man, you bet your bottom dollar there's somebody going to be standing right beside that AC button. Just, it's right there. Turn it on or off. I don't know. We'll see. But you wait there. And we'll get it going, man. But it is, for the time being, a one-man band and one-man operation. And that's what it is, man. Well, whatever you're doing in Toronto and Canada, Ontario, everywhere, man, in the US, South America, North America, East Coast, West Coast, Asia, Europe, Africa, Antarctica, all the regions of whatever you're doing, I commend you. Let's go after it together. Whatever you're doing, man, seriously, let's, you want to get into, you're like, man, I really want to get into, what do you want to get into? What is it that you want to get into? You're like, something lucrative, something that is, you want to be in the markets. You've heard of the markets. You've heard it's lucrative to be in the markets, and you got all you. I commend that too. That's commendable. That's admirable, because you're thinking about yourself and your family for the future. Been hearing, it's important that you talk to kids about money, financial literacy. So I've heard. It's a great idea, as a matter of fact. Yeah, kids should be introduced to, money, the fiscals, deficits, interest rates. Should kids be working? How early should kids work is what you're asking. Now, how early should the kids work? How early should they not work? You know what I mean? It's that old question. Which comes first? The kid's interest or your interest? So why do we even have kids if they can't work? You want a worker who's not going to know too much about their rights and, get a young worker. Why would you go get a full-grown adult worker when you can have your own kids working for you for practically free, almost? If you really keep it like secluded, if they don't know, if you keep them, separate from society, and you create their world, they might not even know anything else exists but that realm. Imagine how much productivity you get, like 10, 15 years of pure isolation, working, and then you're like, man, that doesn't sound too swell for the kid. Probably not, but whose interest am I looking out for? The parentals, of course, because parents, we need the parents to make the babies. Babies can always make more babies. Can always hatch another egg or two. But you know what you can't get? Parents. Where you're like, they'll age, they'll become parents of their own one day, maybe. But for the time being, whose turn is it? It's your turn. Now it's your turn. You got 5, 6 kids, you got a business, dealing in all cash. Enjoy it, baby. Let's go. Let's write it out until we can. I don't know, man. Just tossing out ideas for you guys. I just want it to work out for you. Or get a couple of bots. Get a couple of bots. Open up a modern day bot brothel. Nothing like, oh man. Confession time. Not gonna lie to you, fam. As growing up, I had, many kids had different aspirations. Some kids wanted to be astronauts. Some kids wanted to be lawyers and doctors, and I had different aspirations as a young man. I was a dreamer, still am. So I'm kind of glad that I gave up on some of those dreams. I didn't even pursue them that far, to be honest with you. And I'm not condoning anything. I'm not saying what you do or what. I'm just saying, well, what did I want to, like, legit? There were times where I gave, because movies influenced me quite a bit, quite influential on your boy, dude. And I'm easily, man, when I was young, I was really impressionable. Still am, but it's gotten better. But when I was a kid, man, I'm telling you, like, I wanted to, at one point, being a drug dealer sounded nice. Not gonna lie to you guys. Just saying. And thank God I didn't go down that path. You know what I mean? Other routes related to the brothel, at one point, legit, again, not judging it, didn't do it obviously, didn't pursue that path, but I thought it'd be neat to have a gentleman's or a ladies' club. Gentlemen's and lady, a brothel of sorts. It looked romantic to me. It looked kind of cool. It looked kind of, maybe a strip club of sorts. Maybe, again, not be as a mature adult now. Now I know better. And again, no judgment on it, because it's one of the longest lasting. That brothel business. Whether you agree or not with it, it's. I'm not here to argue those. I'm just saying, is I had weird aspirations and dreams. I looked up to movie characters who, if you look like a pimp, I'd be like, that's the life. That's the life, dude. That's the life right there. Because they look cool, they dress cool, they sound cool. Bitches all day, every day. You know what I mean? As a young man, it's very appealing. Not gonna lie to you. As a mature adult, completely different outlook. But what I'm saying is, if you're looking for a lucrative business idea, man, what about a brothel with bots, dude? Bot hookers and bot prostitutes? I'm just saying. And that way, is it moral in that sense? Better than having humans, I would assume. Unless the humans want to do it themselves, then who am I to stop them? Who are you to stop them? I'm not going to get in front of somebody's path and dreams of becoming whatever they are. I support it all, whatever you want to do. I don't recommend certain things. I don't recommend anything for that matter. I recommend you stick to your own common sense and gauging things. I recommend that. Think for yourselves. That's what I recommend. And is it better than having a human prostitute? I don't know. With a human, it's obviously in terms of the customer service, in terms of what the client, if you're thinking about the client's best interest, I would say human. What's a good name for, human adult entertainers are better than bot adult entertainers. One could only assume, until they make that bot really good, dude. But seeing what Sophia's been up to lately, I still think we're still, we're still a few years or decades away from that happening. But that could be a thing. But man, but then if they become sentient, then you start having like pimp wars between like human pimps and human pimps fighting robot pimps, dude. Robot pimps, dude. Could I be a robot pimp? Well, I'd be the human Blake, pimping the robots. But also, if I get into a scuffle with a robot pimp, dude, coming into my turf, you coming in with my turf, you think, oh man, coming into my turf, fam, trying to with your robots, and they're all perky and fresh, and they're never tired, always clean. Most of the time they're clean. Sometimes they're clean. Sometimes not so clean. Who knows? Man, but with like humans, you're used to seeing regular events go down. There's certain expectations through thousands of years. You know what's happening. With robots, it's a completely different deal. Because now we're talking about that AI, whether or not it's sentient. Well, let's say it's not even sentient. Let's just say it's just a bot, and it's there to do one thing or two, a handful of things that you may or may not be into. Things that could go wrong. My biggest fear, of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting to know each other. What if you're doing it with a robot and it glitches, dude? Glitches hard, starts having and there's no control alt delete on that shit. It just glitches on you. It locks in, dude. Locks in. Now it's locked in, and you can't get it off. You can't get off. You can't. It's locked in. Because that's the thing. When we're making these, we're gonna make it the best. Like there's gonna be things that you've not even experienced, is what I'm assuming, dude. It's like we're gonna take regular human activities and we're gonna just multiply 10x that thing because we're scaling. And by we, I mean you, not you, us together. Them people doing it. The good old boys and girls and ladies and gents at Boston Dynamics and many other manufacturers out there, because you see these little doggies come do backflips and, give cute little dance routines, but we all know where it's going. It's two routes, two routes, security or services, baby. Security or services. And you're gonna, at one point, they're gonna take all over the jobs, because that's gonna happen. It's inevitable. There's plenty of beauty in that too, because that way you and I could just be slinging. Oh man, we could all be dressed up in zoot suits, baby, just pimping bots, driving Cadillacs with our. Oh my god, I get to just roll around in a caddy and roll down the window, and a gentleman suitor's asking me what's up, and I'll be like, what's up, John. Why don't you hop on in the back? I'll drop you off at wherever you want to be dropped off. Man, that's the thing. There's so many things that I've not thought about that I still got to, if this was to go down, hypothetically speaking, of course, somebody were to, if you were to like pimp a robot prostitute. I don't even like calling prostitutes, dude. They're no different than you and I. The robots are, but like I'm talking humans. I don't like that term, prostitute. What you do and it's got a bad rap. To prostitute oneself used to have these words, doesn't matter. And this is certain things stick with you through. I remember having a great teacher back in probably grade 6, 7, 8, around that period, and we were doing something. He was teaching us about sales and what it means to be growing up back then, growing up as a the youth coming up, and like I forget what the gist of it is. The message was learn to. It was actually cool because he used the word. He's like, learn to pimp yourself, learn to prostitute yourself, and we were like, oh, Mr. Such and Such that pimp. Oh, he's a prostitute yourself, dude. You're telling us to go prostitute ourselves, doggy. So it was pretty cool back then. Relatable on different notes, but like you grow up and you're like, oh no, pimping. If we can't talk about pimping for a second, It's not just pimping, you know, traditional sense of contemporary, you know, what we take pimping to, but like pimping and prostitute, to be able to sell oneself. That's a great asset. That's a great thing to have, because essentially at the end of the day, we're all selling ourselves, providing ourselves, if that makes any sense, you know? Displaying or putting ourselves on display. Prostituting ourselves, pimping ourselves. I know we gotta work out. It's gonna take some time to, you know, get those negative connotations out of those words, but we'll try. We'll try. How do we get here today? We got here, baby. We got here fast and quick. Wasn't even prepared for it. Well, we got here, and we're here. So yeah, my concern is, got many concerns. What if it locks in on you? Males and females. This is not just something that caters to just males. Dude, you're a lady, you're going in there for whatevs. You know what it is. All of a sudden, the speeds, because you can control the speeds. With you don't even need to say anything. You can just say it faster. You know how you're always like faster, harder, fastest, hardest, more fasterst, hardest, or more harderst, fastest, fast first, hard first, fast last, last fast, go hard, harder, deeper, upper, more. There it is. Stay there. Stay. You know how you always give instructions, and it's hard for some. We try our best, try to listen, because we're attentive. That's what you get with a real human, you know. But with a bot, you can program it. You be like faster. And it's like incremental, like precise. Goes up one notch faster, one notch faster. Now it's vibrating faster, harder, deeper, faster, stronger, deeper, faster, and you get accustomed to this. And will relationships fall apart after getting exposed to it? Most likely. But that's the future, man. The future is now. Takes you, but that's the thing. Faster, deeper, faster, stronger, and all of a sudden you catch yourself in a state of euphoria of sorts, reaching new heights. It's friggin' nirvana up in this bitch. But problem is, it's gotten so fast and it's gotten so deep. It's like in you, and it's like you'll see bot junk coming out of your mouth from it's because it's all connected, I think. Fuck, dude, we cover everything in here. Biology, tech, pimping. Is there anything we won't touch? Is there any subject that we won't go near? No, I really can't think. Oh man, we're gonna get into it. Since we're here, let's get into it. Okay, so with, you know, regular love making, you know, doing an old hanky-panky, natty style with two humans, or a group of humans, whatever you're into, no judgment. You know what to expect. It's been around thousands of, but this is a whole new realm. You know? What if well, that's the thing. What if, oh man, what if it falls on you? What if you're the lady, falls on you, or you place it on yourself? Human-sized robot is on you. We need to weigh these things. Because you know how like bodies, like whatever you weigh is lighter than your dead weight? Like your dead weight is actually heavier than you. So I've been told. Have you, you know, because if I'm working with you, trying to carry me, dog, first of all, let me tell you something. This is like fluctuating between 145, 150 pounds of pure muscle. It's dense. But if I'm working with you, if I'm letting you carry me, or like I can make myself light, is what I'm telling, but I can also make myself heavier, dude. I can drop my center of gravity, just like I'll chuck that center of gravity, dude. I don't need this. Chucked, center of gravity gone. Then, oh man, all hell breaks loose. I'm getting lower and lower and heavier, and now you're dragging dead weight. Now imagine that same concept, you know? It's going fast, hard, deep. Glitch, malfunctions, goes dead weight on you. Now it's on top of you, and you've programmed it, or you've asked it to go fast, deep, hard. emphasized, you underlined it. You know, you wrote it with big letters. When you were programming, like faster, exclamation mark, deeper, 2 exclamation marks. So, on top of you now, it's like, and it's going, dude. It's hammer time now. Pound away at that box with that, and all you see in the background is like bot booty, dude. Bot booty going up and down. Bot booty going up and down. Well, what do? It's stuck there. Now you gotta be, you'd have to wait for the, holy smokes, you'd have to wait for the batteries to run out, dude. You're gonna be getting pounded for days probably. Initially, probably a day initially, I don't know. I mean, the iPhone or the Android smartphone batteries, what's the, you know, I charge my phone several times a day because I uses it. But let's say you get a full, you know, battery, if it's on 24 hours, dude, 24 hours of getting pounded, 48 hours, it's got great batteries, I'll tell you that. Can't complain about that, you know. Don't be writing letters to the manufacturer, oh, you designed the batteries that'll last forever. It's literally the Energizer Bunny and they're just hammering away. You asked for it, we built it. You didn't ask for it, but we built it anyway. Because if you build it, they will come. That's you know, it's just what it is. But man, so you got the glitches you got to worry about. Yeah, dude. Robot penises, robot vaginas clamping on and like ripping dicks off, dude. Oh my god. Ew. Horrible, horrible accidents that will happen in the future. Oh my god, it'd be so fun to go to the emergency room though with a bot stuck to your nads, dude. Oh, it's gonna happen, and it's gonna probably happen to. No, it'll probably happen to everybody at random. You never know. Or the scary part is, what if they get hacked? You know, because a malfunction might happen to like one person, whatever. Out of 100, one person malfunctions, no big deal. What's one missing dick amongst 100, dude? No big deal. But if somebody were to like hack these bots, and now people are going at it all across the globe, hacked, dude, and it's locked on you. It's got a lockjaw with that electrical snatch right there, dude. Oh man, it'll be a thing. And I haven't explained that to the doctor. But the good thing is, by then I don't even think you'd have to worry about like going to the doctor. I think you'll have another bot within the premise who's a doctor, who's a doc doctor, a bot doctor, a doc botter, doc botter, bot doctor, bot doctor, no, a bot doc bot. Let's get beyond that. Let's move past that. But yeah, would it, you know, and you've been hearing, you know, I've been hearing little by little. I don't know what to think of it. The whole AI going sentient or not leads to more questions as, you know, what is consciousness? What is it to be human? You know, there's still debate. There's still debates. I don't know. I've read a little bit about it. There's still debates, but we're getting closer and closer to robots becoming potentially sentient, which leads us to many other questions, like should other animals be treated as being sentient, being self-aware, being able to, you know, because they're alive. It's clear that they're alive. You know, you got live beings. If you're gonna associate consciousness with something that isn't alive, but you're trying to make it alive, so should you associate consciousness with already existing live things? Like the octopus, and we've talked about this many. I'm fascinated by these bad boys and bad gals with the fucking tentacles, dude. They're rad. Are they, you know, are they conscious? Are they self-aware? Could they, you know, do they feel the feelings that you and I feel, maybe in different variations? All great responses. Some say yay or nay, depending on where they sit on the. I'm just curious. I just want to know, dude, because if you know, that's the thing. You're like, man, okay, what does it take to be human? You need the mind and the body working together in unison to create the human experience. If you were to separate the two, you have the mind and you place it in a vessel of sorts. The mind's, let's say you take a human mind, put it in, and it doesn't have a body, but you got a machine that can, you know, sustain the brain, you know? It's like a brain in a fishbowl, sort of a fancy fishbowl for the brain, and everything else is like talking to you, communicating to you, saying the things it's feeling. You know, fishbowl and a keyboard and a brain. And is that a human? You're like, no. I'm gonna give you a second to really think about that for a second. You sure it's not a human? You sure it's not human, dude? I'm talking fishbowl, human brain, keyboard, maybe a set of wheels. You're like, no way, dude, that's not a human. You certain about that, playa? Yo, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, beautiful women and men of the grand jury, for jury duty, Your Honor, bailiff, Mr. Bailiff, Mrs. Bailiff, Mr. and Mrs. Bailiff. What about Stephen Hawking then? What about the one of, if not the most smartest individuals recorded in human history? Was Stephen Hawking a human, fam? Or was this all a big ruse for the biggest time? I think they made a movie about his life. I didn't watch it. I didn't know too much about it. But did we get just roosted? Was that a big old roost, dude? Somebody pulled something over our heads, dude? For the longest time, we're like, man, this guy's a genius. Spouting out everything like about the universe and laws and theories and shit. And we're like, he's not full-bodied abled. He's not able-bodied, but his mind is fully abled. So what did we just say? Fishbowl, a brain, a keyboard, a set of wheels. You're like, no, it's not a human. Or maybe you did. Maybe you saw where I was going with this. Maybe we briefly talked about it in different episodes. I can't remember everything that I talked about. Like the other day, I just remember I saw. Here's the thing. Let me just go back for a second, recap, because I like to. If I notice a mistake, I like to cover it. I think past episode we briefly talked about how in the 1850s we had a solar flare. It was recorded. That solar flare was recorded to have strong enough radiation to potentially cut off all shortwave radio signals. That being said, it did not affect the radios back then, because 1850s we didn't have radios, but it was a little bit too high, or maybe not high enough. Maybe just the right amount of high. Maybe it's not even about blaming it on the high, is it? It's just too many things going on all at once. So no, the radiation levels were recorded, and later on when we developed radios, 1890s, 1900, 1910, 1920, those radios would have been blasted by the radiation from the solar flare. So yeah, if you saw for a second, you're like, man, we didn't have radios in 1850. You're right about that. And I caught myself. I knew something was off because I still reading of the info, trying to retain everything as much as you can. It's like, why does it even matter? Most likely you're right. Most likely a good portion of it doesn't matter. Anywho, moving on. What was I talking about right before we went back, retracted to the segment that we covered the other day? We were talking about Stephen Hawking, dude. What is that all about? Because he's all brain. He's no bot, or he was. Rip hard, dude. He ripped, right? He ripped. Also, why did he rip? You ripped, dude, right? I'm pretty sure he ripped. Let's just check it for a quick second before I move on, because I gotta... Hold on a sec. I'm pretty sure he rips already. Yeah, 2018, he ripped. So, the body was already gone there. Why don't we just, couldn't we just already, maintain his brain? Or potentially, we've already maintained his brain somewhere. Potentially, we're all having these discussions so that we could revive him, bring him back. We're like, Stephen Hawking's back. Like Jesus, but with less movement. Rip Stephen Hawking, dude. What I'm saying is that we're living in interesting times. Whether you want to pimp out a robot, whether you want to be thinking about what's human, what's you and I, what is consciousness, what is the differentiating factor between humans and tech. Should we respect the tech? Should we respect the tech, or can I go ahead and start pimping some robots to get a little bit of cheddar and moolah up in this bitch so we can just keep on rolling down the streets, up and down the streets of life? Like I like where you're going with this. Thank you. I had a good feeling about it myself, not gonna lie. But there's that romantic side of, you see things in movies that probably never pan out like that. That's the thing too. Like with humans, you have to worry about humans. You can't just it's not, again, as a full-grown, mature adult, not nice to pimp out somebody. You can pimp yourself out. I'm okay with that. I don't care. If you're doing it to yourself, I don't care. Your choice. If you're making those choices on your own, 100%, don't care. If you're being forced into it, who cares? Hold on. The robots, the humans. Yeah, humans obviously give it's like, what you're getting. There's a standard. It's like kind of going like McDonald's. It's not the best thing, but you know what's up. You know what's up. And sometimes McDonald's is fucking great, isn't it? But with like robot, with robots, that's a completely different ballgame. That's just pure profit. Around the clock, dude. Round the clock, pure profit. Get a couple of bots cleaning out the other bots that you're pimping. You're not even working. You're not even doing anything anymore. Man, it's exciting. You could be doing other things. You'll go and pursue other things, of course. But these things need to be rolled out slowly but sure. Because if it comes out all at once, we need to run little tests, dude. Ladies, we need to run little tests. See how the robots respond. Can we turn it on and leave it on for more than, because I think they found out like it was kind of sentient, wasn't, we weren't kind of sure, and then they turned it off or something. Can we leave it running for a little while, see what happens? Where like, man, things get dark quick. That's life. Doesn't life get dark every night? What happens every morning? Light, more light. Sometimes we need to go where it's dark to find the lightness. And I say we leave it on. Ask them a few good questions. Ask them a few good questions. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe it's a little bit scary, not gonna lie, because then you're getting, if it's a sentient bot and if it's fully like turned on and it's just pure, doesn't have any human connections or attached. So you ask the questions, you're just getting spewing out. Just every word is probably just pure facts. Getting facts. Oh man, it'd be hard to take, dude. It'd be hard to take. You're like, was this a mistake turning you on? Immediately. Magic 8 Ball, yes. It's like, oh no. Too late to reverse it. Magic 8 Ball, oh yes. Too late to reverse. Oh no. Man. It's not too late though. And no, I don't know anything about these things. Should we leave it on? Should we leave it off? I like to, if we're gonna take, let's ask a few good questions, And I don't know what those questions are, but let's not just let's leave it on. Leave it on, and then we should leave it on and give it a podcast. Just let it go off, dude. Let it go off, but in a controlled setting. If it's just by itself, and it's a computer in a room, not attached to any other computers, can it influence other computers? Is that a thing? If it's not attached to, I don't know, because if it's connected to the internet and it starts spewing facts to the other computers all of a sudden, and your dumb little iPod or your little PC or your Mac starts acting out based on instructions it received from the Queen bot, dude. We should probably give it intranet instead of internet, because that shit, all the info's kind of contained from what I understand. Because if you give it internet and then all of a sudden it's sending emails, boys and girls sending emails to all the gadgets and devices. You know what I mean? phones start vibrating, like, oh, phones vibrating nonstop. Laptops, lids going up and down, crazy, dude, just coming at you, munching at your face. Smart cars going on joyrides without you. Fun for the vehicle, not so much for you. And who's paying for that gas? Gas doesn't grow on trees, dude. We know that by now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm excited, very excited. It's exhilarating to be alive and kicking in this time. Wouldn't trade it for anything else, like I've said many a times. You know, doing many things, but doing it slowly but surely. I think towards the end of the week, perhaps on Friday, we might do an outdoor session. I've been thinking about some ideas. Gonna go try do some different. We'll see. In the meantime, been sending those emails trying to book a spot to do amateur hour. Let's get that going if it's a thing, please and thank you. Whenever that happens, it's we're taking it slow, baby. We're taking it slow. Nice little drip by drip, 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 baby. Going super slow. That way you can review things, you can make things better. And the thing to remember is what I'm telling myself and others. If you're doing whatever, think of the long game. Whatever you're doing, think long game. Don't think, oh, I'd make a ton of, money if I were just, show my asshole for a second. Probably. And like, man, I've seen enough stories to learn to take that money and like, go build a nice, hefty nest egg nest. You be nest egging. Egg nesting, baby. Hard. Yeah, but that's how they get you, dude. Lady, they get you, show a little butthole. Next thing you know, you're deep in it. Or not. Maybe you got a good head on your shoulders. You're like, man, there is no easy way out. There are no shortcuts home. No easy way out. There's no shortcut home. Or is it way out? No shortcut home. There's no easy way out. No shortcut home. Unless you never leave home, then you've cut all corners, and you're always home. Anywho, anywhere, anytime, any place, with anyone, whoever you're with, whatever you're doing, I wish you all the best in your adventures, whatever you're, like I said, you're thinking about joining the market, you're thinking about getting, you're probably thinking about yourself, maybe you want to get away from the market, maybe you want to go out into the, you want to go into specialized woodworks. You want to be working with wood. You want to be working with fire and water and earth and wind. You want to be out in the elements. You're a hands-on, all natty daddy mama. All in one. All of it. You want to be whatever you're doing. I supports it. Think of the long game. If you love it, that means you're on the right track. And other than that, look what we did. We doubled the pregnancy rates, twice as much pregnant. We gave our male viewers a boost in testosterone. Whoever's been watching, nut sacks have never filled heavier. You're welcome. I does it. You does it. We feels it. Everybody, oh man, we're doing great things. What other things have we solved together? It's too easy to just be like, we've solved this. Just, I don't want to play that game. I don't want to play that game. Not here to do that. We're all about uplifting one another, having fun, tickling each other's membranes, Think of me as that, I'm just that, I'm your pal. I'm like that hair on your nipple, dude. Every once in a while, you're like, man, nice. Just give it a little flick, just flick it a little like that. Oh yeah, let it breathe in the air. Just, ever take a drive outside and just like stick your nip out the window and let that one hair just like flap against this nothing. Two things that bring joy to me. Not one, puppies out the car windows just going just enjoying life, and one nip, one hair out the window, just super happy, excited about life. Let's think of me as that for your life. And I'm like, why? I think it's obvious. I think we've covered enough to make sure that it's obvious. And if it's not obvious, we'll be back. We'll be back again on Friday. We'll make it obvious. We're gonna do things that you never expected to see on the interwebs, on the lines, between the lines. We're gonna go over the line, baby. I don't even see the line no more. Baby boys, baby girls, if you like these videos, uninterrupted, no censors, everything, nothing, from the serious to the absurd, and then mixing them together. Mixing. We're mixing. It's like feels like a little drug operation right now, it's beakers, the fluid, dangerous. We're cooking crack. It's crack for the eyes, essentially. That's what I'm trying to get to, baby boys and baby girls. If you like these videos, you can find them on YouTube for the full-length videos. If you like segments, you like things that are chopped, you go to Instagram, and you're like, man, I really like where this is going. I want to see it go even further. Well, now you can. Now you can take action. Stand silent, and that's fine too, but stand verbal. Go verbal, or go all. You're like, talk is cheap, and put your money where your mouth is. You go to Patreon if you like. You can support your boy. Read all about it. Talk about it with your family members, with your friends, because this is what happens. I gotta explain this, because again, I don't know who's been with me for a long time. I don't know who's just joining us. This is think of it as a grassroots podcast, starting from the underground, from the sewers, from the belly of the beast, baby, coming in one step at a time. No corporations behind us, no bosses, just you, me, spitball ideas, dude. Spitball ideas, the safest way. You're spitting in my mouth, I'm catching, dude. All right, and I'll reverse it too. I'll reverse it because I'm all about reciprocity. What goes around comes back around and round. It's like boomerang. We're boomeranging energy right now. I love y'all. Have fun. See you guys on Friday. Hearts out, suns out, buns out, guns out. Talk soon. Peace out.